Hello and welcome. I'm very excited to be here. It is August 8th. Wait, so we're 8/8/22. That's cool. Awesome. So glad you're joining me today. Those of you who are joining me live, looks like I've got a few of you on here. That's awesome. Today we're going to be talking about ways to grow your business. That's right, because it's not always about the legal stuff, right? Like I talk about legal stuff. That's why you're on this channel, presumably. But it's important to keep in mind that legal stuff is just part of a business. Like when we talk about like running and operating your business, there's so much more to it than just legal. Because while that's important, that's not all a business is, right? I mean, that's my business and then it's legal, but you know what I'm saying. So anyway, excited to be back. I'll be honest with you, lots have happened since then. I welcomed my 5th child, a baby girl, sweet baby girl. She is absolutely amazing. And I'm so grateful to have her in my life. I can't imagine life without her. She's such a sweet, sweet little girl. Anyway, so today we're going to finish talking about growing your business. That's why this is part 2. Funny story, I hit the wrong button last time, and I had so much other content that I was working on that I didn't have a chance to come back to get to this one, but here I am. This is it. This is going to help you. So if you haven't watched that video, we're going to review just a little bit, but we're not going to go over that in its entirety. So if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch that video, because that is kind of part 1, and it's going to help you, because growing your business is what I'm here for, to help you do it tactically, like in my podcast, but also legally, but lots of different ways. And these tips, these ways of helping you grow your business are tried and true. Like people are always looking, I just want to talk briefly about this. People are always looking for some secret sauce on how to grow a business. And here's the reality. There is none. Like I'm going to share these tips with you, but what I'm saying is that people are always trying to find a new way to do something that is, if you do these things consistently over time, your business will grow. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. The biggest problem most small business owners have is they are not consistent. They do things when they feel like it or when they have time. And it's very counterproductive, because these are things that you need to be doing all the time. And I know that's hard. Like I'm not here to tell you that this is easy. I'm telling you that it's hard, but this is where the money is. This is where where you can help your business take off. Like truthfully, I met a person earlier today who I'm looking forward to working with, and she was a word of mouth, right? Because she does good work, and someone highly recommended her, and I'm excited to work with her because of this recommendation. So we're going to talk about these things and give you the help that you need to take your business to the next level, because there's so many ways to helping you. So let's get started, shall we? And well, it wouldn't be a true live stream if things didn't happen. So that's fun. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? All right. Like I said, it wouldn't be a true live video if something funny didn't happen, right? Like legit. You just kind of have to roll with punches. Apparently the video just took a little bit of time to like pop in there. So, okay. So last time, oh, by the way, if you're new here, my name is Taylor Darcy from Think Legal, where I help you create the business of your dreams. So welcome. I also help people that need a little extra help, like with litigation, personal injury, things where you really need that extra tender loving care, really, is what it comes down to. So last time when we talked, we talked about doing research. What does that mean? We talked about, again, I'm not going to go through all of these because you've already go watch that video. Don't spend time doing it. We left off on participating in networking events. That's where we stopped at, but I'm going to just go back a little bit. Increasing your customer retention. Keep your promises. These are all important things. I had a vendor that I was supposed to work with that ghosted me. I was trying to get something done and they ghosted me. Then when I tried reaching back out to me, or when I reached back out to them and we had a conversation, they ghosted me again, right? Like I gave them the opportunity. I was patient and kind with them. And because I know people are busy, and they ghosted me twice. Guess who's not getting my business now? Companies that ghost. Now, sometimes no response is required depending on your business. You can't help them. There's just issues that come up. But this company lost any chance of getting my business because they ghosted me twice. Like I was pretty cool about it, right? Like, I mean, I didn't just give them once and done. I gave them a second opportunity. We had a good conversation. They were supposed to get back to me within a week. I think we're going on, it's about 2 months at this point. So when you promise to do something as a business owner, do it. Like, don't let things get in the way. Now I get sometimes things happen, like, stuff happens, right? Like emergencies come up, things that you weren't expecting as a business owner. So, but communicate that with your clients, your prospects, things that happen. And here's another little thing. When you make a mistake or when something is out of your control, rather than saying, I'm sorry, which puts a negative spin on what happened, which it might be negative. I'm not suggesting it's all positive. But the better way of approaching this is saying, thank you for your fill in the blank. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. Maybe apologizing and then ending it on a high note of thanking them for their patience, thanking them for their patronage. That goes a long way towards building positive relationships with your clients and with people that you're working with, whether it be your employees, whoever it may be. So, keep that in mind. Keep your promises. Do what you say you're going to do. Next, this is important. Participating in networking events. I know sometimes they're not fun, and it just seems like a business card of Rama, right? Like you're not actually getting to know the person. You're just doing the thing that is required because you're there, right? And you're not really building relationships. So I would encourage you to quality over quantity. Don't just go there to get business cards and then spam the people and hope that it works. I'll be honest, I made that mistake when I first started out, okay? I would go and get business cards and then I would just send them emails and hope for the best. Guess what? Guess how many of those people actually worked for me? Like how many of them actually built that relationship where they came around and we talked and there was stuff to be had there? None. Exactly none. Okay. Now, I'm not saying I'm the bee's knees and all that, and you should remember me and blah, 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 blah. I'm not suggesting that. But what I'm saying is that if you go to a networking event and you really want to make that networking event worth your money, worth your time, worth your effort, don't just get business cards for the sake of getting business cards. Okay? Get business cards where you can actually develop a relationship with someone. Actually build that type of something that will help you build your business. And the best way to do that is help them build their business. It's a game changer. When you're focused more on someone else's success, okay, than your own, then you don't get the spammy feeling and the icky feeling when someone spams you on something, right? There's nothing worse than when someone is just, that it's going to be a sales pitch the next 30 seconds, okay? The best thing is you reach out to them and say, how can I help you? Or what do you need, right? Rather than you trying to sell them something, ask how they can help, how you can help them. What is it that they're in the need for? But start building relationship. Start establishing the know, like, and trust that I've talked about plenty of times on here. But it needs to be repeated like a lot, because people don't seem to understand that when you spam someone, it destroys trust. It destroys your no factor. When people spam me, turns me off every time. And I know a lot of people are like that. So don't go to networking events just for the sake of getting a business card and then spamming people with it. Waste of time and money. Go to a networking event. If you don't collect a business card, fine. I said it. Get to know the person. Give a business card out. Don't expect one back. Find different ways of getting to know them. Like different ways of establishing a relationship that don't involve spamming them or whatever it is. All right. So the next is, I know this is going to sound funny, but by practicing corporate social responsibility. Yeah, grow your business that way. Why? Because we're not in the crazy era that we once were, where factories, it's socially acceptable for factories to spew filth everywhere and just workers to take it. So going green, because I know a lot of people like to work with people that are going green. When you're talking about your ideal client, who is that? That's part of the process. Decide what going green means to you. Are you going to implement efficiency measures that will help reduce your carbon footprint? Right? Giving back to your community. I know some things that I'm looking to do myself when I get there is giving, doing a backpack program, right? Finding a school that needs help where the students are underserved, okay? And seeing if you can spend the money to buy them all backpacks, all the kids' backpacks in a grade or in several grades. I don't know. Be creative in that, right? And here's the next part. Don't make a big deal about it. Don't put your logo on the backpacks. That's so tacky, okay? Do it just for the sake of doing good. There is no reason to put your logo on anything when it's for the good of things. If you're going to if you're going to buy something at Petco Park, okay, fine, put your logo on it, right? Like that makes sense. If you're going to sponsor a football team, or if you're going to sponsor, a little league team, soccer team, whatever it is that you want to sponsor, right? Do it tastefully. Don't waste don't put it on there and make it the biggest thing on there and make people like turned off by it because, of course they're sponsoring it. They're trying to get money out of me, right? Sponsor it for the sake of doing good, because I am here to tell you that doing good in karma will come back to you in spades. Tip well. I know this is going to sound funny, but when you spend more money on helping people, they remember you. When you go out to dinner, go out to lunch, whatever it may be, especially if you're going out as a group, say you're sponsoring lunch for somebody, go out and when you're paying the bill, pay as much as you can. They're going to remember that crazy tip, right? And maybe they don't need an attorney, or maybe they don't need what you're selling right now, but they're going to remember who you are. So giving back to the community without expectation of reward on that side is a great way to build your business, because that goodwill comes back to you. It will. It always will, because people like to do business with companies and businesses that make them feel valued. And that's a great way to make them feel valued, is by having something in the community that shows them that, right? Like, I'm not saying you can't mention that you're doing these things. I'm just saying don't buy backpacks and then put your logo on it and then expect to send it to all these kids that need help. You can say, backpack giveaway sponsored by, or bike giveaway sponsored by, sure, absolutely. Having an essay writing contest, right, for something. Be creative, be inventive, do things different. Don't do what everybody else is doing. If everybody else is doing it, it makes it that much harder to be successful at it. Do things that everyone else is not doing. So be creative. Do the things that nobody else is doing. All right. Producing sustainable products. This is important. Buying things that that can be reused, recycled, things of that nature. Don't just look at disposable items. Like one of the things that I do is I buy my clients occasionally when I've had them for a while, a Yeti mug, right? It's a reusable. I put their name on it, not my name on it. That's key. I think that's important because here's the thing. You don't need your name on it for them to remember you. You don't. Because every time they see that thing with their name on it, they're going to remember you because other people don't do those things. There's a book called Giftology. Highly recommend it. Highly. It is a great book. Okay. If you don't know about it, go out and take a look at it because it is very much worth your time to help grow your business through gifting. And the key is gifting without the thought of return. Give just because you can, because you want to make their life better, happier, easier, more meaningful, more fulfilled. But part of that is producing sustainable goods. Try to be as kind to the environment as possible. There's no reason to take advantage of it if you don't have to. Now, I do have to say, paper straws suck, okay? Legit. I can't stand those things. You're in the middle of a drink and it just goes to mush. That's great for the environment, but terrible for the drink. So find ways, metal straws or something of that nature. Find ways to do it that sustainable products that actually help people rather than turn to mush in the middle of their drink, so to speak. Okay, so that is practicing corporate social responsibility. Do good things. The opposite is doing toxic capitalism, okay, where the almighty buck is more important than the people that you're trying to provide for or you're trying to serve or sell the product, things that are hurting others just for the sake of $1, okay? Toxic capitalism, bad. Socially responsible capitalism, good, right? We can do better. We can innovate. We can build processes. We can help others through corporate and great successful means. Okay, so next, growing your business through forming strategic partnerships. And it's a big fancy way of saying, like, there are industries that, for instance, CPAs and attorneys tend to go, especially a business attorney, right? Like, people need CPAs when they are running business transactions. So I have people that I refer people to in that respect. That's a strategic partnership. They refer people to me because now it's they're referring people to me. I'm referring people to them. It's helped growing both of our business. But it always comes back to the know, like, and trust, okay? You always have to build your know, like, and trust. If you screw up or you don't follow up or you hurt the relationship, then it negatively affects things. So forming a strategic partnership. So for a personal injury attorney, chiropractors, doctors, there's lots of options there, lots of ways to create strategic partnerships. Get creative. Maybe it's not obvious who is a good strategic partner for you at the moment, but they are out there, right? Looking for other things. Okay. Next is diversify your product or service offerings. Okay. So there's always an opportunity that if you're building one thing, that a complementary product is another thing to be built or that could be built that doesn't cost you anything extra. For instance, leave in the comments below if you love brunch, right? I love brunch. Who doesn't love brunch? But there's a certain restaurant that's a pancake house that we have here in Southern California. It's called the Original Pancake House. That they close at like 3 p.m. They're not open for dinner. And I can't figure out why. Because I'll tell you something, they're still paying the same amount of rent, but legit, who doesn't love breakfast for dinner? Put in the comments below if you love breakfast for dinner. If you love breakfast for dinner, I do. I love breakfast for dinner. It's one of my favorite things. But my point is leave comments below and tell me if you would still go to a place like the original Pancake House. Why? Well, there's places like Denny's and IHOP, and they both have lunch and dinner, right? So diversifying your product offerings. Original Pancake House doesn't have to do anything to their menu. All they have to do is stay open longer. Now I get there's additional wages and there's different costs, and I get that. I'm not suggesting it's a simple decision, but I'm suggesting that if there's a way that you can use, because their rent isn't changing, so their fixed costs aren't changing, but their variable costs are changing slightly. But if maybe you run, instead of having like a full crazy 30-person crew, maybe you run a 15-person crew for dinner. Still make money, make some people happy that want to go to dinner, that have breakfast for dinner, brinner, my wife likes to call it. See, these are the things. These are the things that are going to help you. So look at your products and services and see what are services, what are products and services that I could offer that can help me grow my business? What are things that I'm missing out on, right? Like, you know what they are, because they're things you're like, oh, I wish I did that. Or maybe I should do that. And if you think you should, and it's not going to cost you too much extra, or it's worth that cost, then do it. I mean, I'm not saying to do it haphazardly. Do your research. That was one in the first video, is to do your research, right? Okay. So identify new products and services. Finding different ways to offer your products and services, right? Like, for instance, the original Pancake House. They could totally do a food truck. Yes. I'm not kidding, right? They could do a food truck and go to different restaurants, go to different places during the day, and serve their waffles and things, because a lot of that stuff can be done in a food truck. They don't. I don't know. That's just how they do it, right? I guess the whole original Pancake House, maybe they could change it to original Pancake Truck. I don't know. Just ideas, right? Like, this is what I'm talking about. Brainstorm ideas on what can help you grow your business. That's what we're talking about here. All right. Next, extend to new markets, right? Like, maybe you're based in San Diego. What would it take to open a LA store or an LA shop or something of that nature? I don't know. That's something that you need to do. Maybe you're in San Diego. Maybe you could open multiple branches within San Diego. That's an idea. Or not even within San Diego. Maybe it's going to be North County. Maybe it's going to be South County. Maybe there's different places that you could do it. Maybe La Jolla instead of Central. Maybe there's lots of ideas. Depending on your business and your niche, you can offer it in different areas and give you this opportunity that you didn't have before, because not everybody's heard about you. So think of new markets, new areas that you can offer your product and service. Okay. This one is one of those, this is money right here. This is worth its weight in gold. So legit, this is one of the best things that you can do, and that not enough small businesses do enough of. Okay. This is it. This is, like, all of these things that I've talked about before are all very good, very useful. But here's the thing. If you don't do this next step, all that work can be for naught. It can be a complete waste of time. Not complete, but it can be a waste of time and a waste of money if you're not careful. So here's the thing. Measure what works and refine as you go. Don't get caught up in the details and making it perfect to begin with. okay? Start with something crude and something that maybe isn't perfect. Perfection is the enemy of great. Because if you're so focused on perfection, you're never going to get to great. And great could be good enough. Perfection doesn't exist. So what do I mean? Measure what works. As you're doing these things that I've discussed in video 1 and this video, measure it, okay? See what's bringing you the best return on investment. See what's helping move your business forward the most. Keep track of things. This is so important. If you don't keep track of things, you are missing out, okay? So many businesses don't keep track of things. They just kind of like let it go. Now, that's great for a song and a kid's movie, but that's not great for a business, okay? Measure what works and refine. Because here's the thing. If you can spend the same amount of money and get better results, wouldn't you want to do that? That's why it's so important to refine as you go. Keep tweaking it until you make the most amount of money on the least amount of money. Does that make sense? You want to make the most amount of money by spending the least amount of money. And that's what measure what works and refine as you go. Okay? As a small business, you have a great opportunity to fix things faster than a big business. The bigger the business, the harder it is. They may have more resources, but they're stuck. There's bureaucracies, there's stakeholders, there's people that have a say in what happens. As a small business owner, if something is not working, you can stop it fast. If something's working, you can keep doing it, right? So use that as a way to refine it quickly. So if you see that money being spent is netting you a good return, then keep spending more money until you've maximized that thing. And then when you've maximized that, move on to the next thing, okay? And refine as you go. Keep that process moving until you've maximized that, right? Like that's one of the reasons why I continue to do these videos. Legit. I do these videos because there's not a lot of attorneys that are doing them. I want to be on something that not a lot of attorneys, and they are useful. I like being useful to people, especially for free. You don't have to pay any money to see these videos. Legit. It's awesome. All right. This is one of those ones that when you get a little bigger, might be something worth thinking about. If you've got a proven system for doing something, okay, but you don't necessarily have the capital that you need to be successful, and you're not really interested in going through the insane IPO process, okay, or other types of processes. This one is to consider franchising, okay? You're basically taking your systems and your processes and that if you've already made and providing it to somebody else for them to be successful. And McDonald's, when you think franchise, you think McDonald's, Subway, Burger King, lots of different options there. That doesn't mean that that's restricted to those types of franchises. Okay, you don't have to be McDonald's to franchise your stuff. Franchise is just somebody else's ownership of that, of a business, right? But it's your, there's so much you can do with it, but it's your logo, it's your name, it's everything else. They're the ones in charge of growing their business. You provide systems and processes and ways of developing it and growing it in exchange for them paying you royalties, them paying you fees for that knowledge and that base, okay? So that's franchising. It's key because it's another way to grow your business because the more prolific, right, the more people know, like, and trust you, the more business you get, right? So these are all different ways you can grow your business. These are simple. They don't have to be difficult. You don't have to look at this and go, oh, it's one more thing for me to have to do. I'm so frustrated. I'm so tired. And I totally get that. Okay. I totally understand that. But if you implement just one of these, okay, and take it and do your best with it, and then keep going with it, okay, you're going to be successful. You're going to grow your business. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to speak with you today. If you've gotten value out of this video, don't forget to hit subscribe and like this video. I appreciate it sincerely because I go live. I'm going to be doing more lives Monday through Friday at 11 right here, right now. This is the time. I know I've been on here about 30 minutes, but guess what? This is all for me to help you grow your business. If you have any questions or burning things, feel free to leave comments below. I'm here to help you. And I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. I mean, I'm busy too. So until next time, we'll see you later, okay? Have a great one. Hit the like button on Facebook, YouTube, subscribe.